All right, happy Thanksgiving morning. This is E. Smith. I wanted to run through my games with the THUD deck. I took it in the prelim last night. Um, I wanted to try it out in the new meta. It seems like a lot of times you're just going to be racing. Um, I have two companions, and I reveal Obosh for game one. We have a pretty good hand. Um, Hopefully draw another pump spell and can threaten a turn 3 kill, but another land isn't very good. We're just playing 19. So our opponent's on Rakdos. We're starting to flood out a bit, but it seems like they don't have much interaction. So just buy Obosh. They stomp here, play a Fable, and we draw Monstrous Rage, which is going to do a lot of damage, but not quite. Yeah, this will kill them. They're dead. So for game two, I took out a thud on the draw, and I took out one built to smash, and I built in Karizev's expertise and Red Cat melee just to have a little more interaction. Like I said, I only sideboard on the draw, and now that we have Karizev's, we can't reveal Gigantha, which would be an improvement if we could. But getting Thought Seized is kind of rough, and we have 4 lands anyway. Drawing more lands, never good. But when you're on the draw, especially with this deck, yeah, and then they have blow up all our chargers, draw the useless red cat melee, and I just scoop it up because, yeah, I have nothing. So on the play game three, like I said, I took back out the red cat melee and the carry Zevs, and we're going to go ahead and reveal Gigantha because it's better with a thud off the top late game. We have a pretty good hand that can definitely threaten turn 3 lethal if we can scry into or draw naturally a land, get the Scamp Thought Seized, and upkeep Titan Strength to dig into a Charger. So we need to draw maybe a Thud. We get Duress and Thought Seized, but they're down to 8. So we draw another Prowess creature, put them to 6, and they tap out for a creature and a tap land, and we just top deck Infuriate. It doesn't really matter where they block here. They take like 5 minutes deciding, but either way, they're going to lose to exact lethal or more. So for round two, we're playing against Hank the Obese, who is a good like vintage player, I believe. We're on the draw, and again, it's looking like Rakdos mid-range, but we've got a pretty solid hand with multiple threats and pump spells. I went for Obosh Companion game one because I didn't know exactly what he was on, and sometimes Obosh is actually really good. Tap out for a Blood Tithe. So here we get to Swift Spear, and whether or not they block, we're probably gonna Monstrous Rage just to get the aura on it and out of range of Blood Tithe activation, unless I have a second one. Sometimes you need to hold Monstrous Rage, sometimes you need to just run it out there for the immediate benefit and future damage from the aura. They have Graveyard Trespasser, which should be fine here. See if we can draw another pump spell. We do. And Titan Strength is pretty good. They're all great once you have the monstrous roll, honestly. But the fact that they don't block here looks like they're going to lose for exactly lethal. Yep. So that's that game. So game two, I sideboarded the same as last time. And again, we're going to have to reveal Obosh because we have the double red, can't do Gigantha. Pretty good hand, but get our Monstrous Rage Thoughtseize. Now we just have a few guys. Um, Hopefully draw some more pump spells. Titan strength is good, and like I said, we've seen it. You can fire it off in the upkeep, guarantee yourself a better draw, but I wouldn't recommend that without either a second pump spell or like if they're tapped out or you're pretty sure they don't have anything. So sometimes in these spots it's good to like attack and just use a pump spell, but since we only have one, I'm just gonna play a couple scamps out. I assume they're gonna kill one with the blood tithe, but they don't end up doing that. They just end up attacking. And I figure they have something, so I throw one in front just to get that off the board. They have the Hidetsugu again, but we get to play a Soul Scar and just get a Kumano down kind of as a 2/2 haste with Suspend 2. I haven't found it really to be worth it to like hold a creature for the second chapter unless you maybe have a Swiftspear and you know you need it to be a 2/3. So here I'm probably not gonna do anything in the upkeep, just take a draw. Another Kumano, which is decent, lets us attack. And now if they don't block, I'll probably just use my pump spell now while they're tapped out and get a scry, make sure it resolves. Let's see what we look at here. It's a mountain, which goes to the bottom. I'm bad about remembering my companion sometimes because this is honestly like the first time I've ever played with one. So now they have a 3/3. We're gonna lose our guy to Stomp, flip a Kumano. We draw THUD. So if we drew like Monstrous Rage next, possibly could do something, but they just have another Stomp, and it looks like this game is gonna be over. Yeah, see, like there, I should have just bought Obosh. I need to get better about keeping the tab open and remembering. But this is how the Rakdos deck usually, when they just play out a million threats, flip a Fable, like we're gonna die next turn no matter what. So built to smash. If they somehow don't block here, we could kill them, but of course they're smart enough to throw a Blood Tithe in front, so I lose. Game 3 went back to no sideboarding at all. Probably gonna go ahead and reveal Gigantha. We have a good hand that needs a second land, and also second THUD is sometimes bad. Like I was on the fence about boarding out a THUD even on the play, but they don't have a hand disruption. We draw a mountain, get to play 2/1 drops, and this is where the deck starts to get scary because Fireblade Infuriate THUD is 12 damage plus multiple prowess triggers. Here they shock in for Blood Tithe. So it looks like we're going to get to probably do 10 to 12 damage here if we want. If they didn't block, they're probably dead, but I think they know better at this point. Obviously, with full information, they'd probably rather block the Fireblade Charger. But we trade off there, go down to 1 THUD in hand. So if we can get to Giganta, that'll probably kill them. They Thoughtseize our THUD. Oh. Go to my turn, draw another Fireblade Charger. When they're at 2, that's pretty good. They just crack a blood. Like they'll probably just kill it now correctly, going to 1, play a Fable. If I draw any Cacophony Scamp or Fireblade Charger, they don't really have a way to deal with it that doesn't kill them unless there's something I'm missing. But here I buy Gigantha. I'm 1 land away from Ramunap Ruins activation, but I'm not playing that many lands, so it could take a bit. Here we draw useless Monstrous Rage. If it was a Titan Strength, we could, for example, end of their turn, Titan Strength on like one of their creatures, just to get a scry and hopefully scry into a land. But Monstrous Rage, obviously, you're not really getting much benefit there. Um, Again, any one drop pinger like Fireblade Charger, there we go. So here, I'm trying to think what they could have to remove that. I mean, if they had some type of shielded into draw somehow, but as it stands, I'm just gonna go to attacks unless I draw THUD, in which case I'm just gonna THUD them right now, not try to trick anything. All right, so this is round 3. On the play, we reveal Obosh. We have a decent hand, need to draw a creature because usually flipped Kumano by itself is not enough of a threat to kill someone with pump spells. And our opponent is either on Phoenix or some type of combo deck like Geomancer would have this start. We're flooding out a little bit, see what they do when we attack. I'm just not even going to use a pump spell because, like I said, I was thinking maybe they were Phoenix. I could have fired off like Titan Strength, but just wait for a prowess creature like Swift Spear here. And now we have 3 mana, 2 attackers. Going to start using pump spells. Like I go on the prowess creature because it's better with a second pump spell. They have Bedeck, and I just go ahead and pump it 2 more times, so it ends up pumping my creature, not killing it, and in fact killing the opponent, which is a nice trick to get them with. I mean, 9, 12, 13, 16, 18 damage. Yep, a 16 power and a 2 power. That'll do it. Yep. So for game 2, I board in the couple Roiling Vortex, and I take out 1 Infuriate and 1 THUD. It's possible I should not be boarding out THUD and should be boarding out like Built to Smash, but I don't want to dilute the primary game plan that much. So here I reveal the Gigantha because we have Rolling Vortex even. Um, Draw the Kumano for a good turn 1. We've got a bunch of guys, Scamp plus Pump Spell, draw another Pump Spell, but we might just be dead to a treasure into combo here, and there's really nothing you can do with this setup. Yeah, so if they do go off, I won't play through it all, but I did sit through it just to make sure and see what all they do. But yeah, a bunch of things that eventually give their guys haste and just kill me. All right, game 3, I actually left in 0 Roiling Vortex. I did not board any in. I just sent my game 1 configuration. And here I think it is Gigantha. I don't know. They're both pretty bad, but this looks like a pretty good hand if we can scry in or draw. Yeah, Infuriate will be good. Threatening a turn 3 kill here. I go for the upkeep Titan Strength. Scry another Titan Strength to the top. And it's important to just divide up your damage sometimes if you don't have THUD, or even if you do. So I just attack with everything. And then I'm going to pump the Soulscar Mage and then the Fireblade Charger in that order. Just in case he has, I don't know. Try to bait him to use something if he has it, and then just hope to kill next turn. Titan Strength puts a Swift Spear on top. I figure it's better than a land or a blank if they have whatever. He just stifles a cross trigger, goes to 1 and scoops. All right, this is the finals against Little Rietzel, unknown opponent. I reveal Obosh, he reveals Gigantha. Got a pretty good start here. Too many Fireblade charges, sometimes awkward, but as you'll see, they do end up killing people a good portion of the time. They correctly block, they just bounce off with their Thraben Inspector. And here, I'm not even going to attack, I'm just going to develop the board a bit more and hope they go for like a Imidane's Recruiter or somehow tap some of their creatures if they found yeah, but in this case, they didn't block enough on Scamp, so they're just going to lose to the Trample plus Sacrifice ability, and they don't block the Soulscar mages, so they die to Exactlies. All right, so we're on the draw. Reveal Obosh. I boarded in 2 End the Festivities for, I believe, 1 Built to Smash and 1 Infuriate. They've got a pretty good start here. I have the End the Festivities, and I'm probably just going to have to use it right away. I sadly don't hit a second land, but I am getting in there. They're going to keep pumping their Warden. If we draw a second land, we can get Scamp going and threaten like a big swing again. But this is where Wayward Guide Beast is actually really useful sometimes. It's like a 2/2 trampler that when it hits them, you bounce a land. And it kind of generates mana sometimes. So here, just going to draw into Ramunap Ruins. You could play Swift Spear, but I think usually it's better if you're just getting in for 1 damage. Like, he didn't have Resolute Reinforcements. I'm just going to play Fireblade and Scamp. And then next turn, see what we draw. Here he does have Recruiter. Pumps his guy to a 5/5 Flying Vigilance Haste. And then see what we can do here. Like, we kind of got to get that thing off the board. So we Monstrous Rage and Built to Smash. It doesn't really matter. As long as you Monstrous Rage, you could use either of the 2 pump spells there. Put them to 4. We have 2 Fireblades, 2 Swifters in hand, and an Infuriate. It still seems like they're kind of just on air. But yeah, they don't attack. See what else they play. Nothing. If we draw land, we're in a really good spot as far as combat. Yeah, so Mountain is great. We get to play both Swift Spears, and it's basically force them to have Resolute Reinforcements or just lose. Like, they block the 2 Fireblade charges, so I just say, okay, go to damage because that would kill them. They have Get Lost on 1 Swift Spear, and I pump the other, and that kills them. Good games. Yeah, it was really fun playing this deck, and I'm glad I got the 4-0 with it. Anyway, have a good holiday, and I'll catch you later.